So this is Brian 2. It's time is it? It's I'm sorry, I'm on a bike, my back can't take it. It's 12:30 in the morning. What they're doing is they've been doing this for days. They're just chasing me with they're hunting me with all of this violent, aberrant, irrational, erratic behavior constantly. I'm trying to stay in the country and get my medical appointments because I need medical treatment for my shoulders and my back. And they're just creating they're creating chaos in my communications. They're targeting my financial transactions. I'm under directed energy attack. But all that, and I'm homeless. And it's just a game with these organized stalkers. It's just a game, cat and mouse. And you can't outrun them. They're at every trolley stop, every bus terminal, everywhere. So my hospital that I have appointments on July 13th and July 18th, it's the earliest I could get the appointments. It's just up over this hill. I just happened to be in the neighborhood because they ran me off the trolley because of their foolishness. But Scripps Memorial Hospital, the Scripps doctor's office, not this hospital, but the Scripps doctor's office, they're the ones handling my medical treatment. This hospital, the doctor's office for this hospital. So, I've got all this nonsense to deal with. Just trying to get medical treatment is unreal. Constant threats of violence. There's my belongings have been. Some of my belongings are missing, but that was that always happens. But here I am at 12:30. I should have already been to my destination 2 hours ago, but I had to put up with this insane, erratic, irrational behavior that we just had to be musical chairs on the trolley trying to get away from all this nonsense. I had to call the police. Well, that's just exactly what they wanted. So to further develop that situational and conversational scenario with the police, they just ejected more of their trash, more of their criminal lowlifes. And some of them are, they're really messed up. They're really criminal in the head. They're psychopaths. So Scripps is my hospital. The doctor's office anyway. That's the hospital be where they do the surgery. The doctor told me I'm going to have surgery. You just saw the hospital where they do surgery. But my appointment to see the orthopedic surgeons don't even start until the 13th and the 18th of July. They're just playing this game with me to get me committed so that they could keep me in a controlled environment so that I don't flee abroad anymore. They know that I can't get back to Russia because Russia is closed. There's no way in. Before, you could get back to Russia without a visa. There were loopholes. You could go through Poland and cross into Kaliningrad or the land border, or you could just take the ferry for a 3-day no visa required trip. Well, that's blocked off now because of the war. That's not possible for me to get back to, which is where I was trying to get to. Well, they stole my passport. Just flat out stole it, used sleep deprivation torture on me, caused me to set it down, walk away from it, and then they just took it. And that's not the only passport they've taken, but the problem is I can't get another visa because China is shut down to the unvaccinated. So I can't get back in China or Russia right now until they change the travel restrictions. So I'm stuck. They canceled my medical insurance. So I don't have any way to get medical treatment abroad. So I had to return, after 2 years trying to get medical treatment, I had to return to the States to try and get medical treatment. Well, now they're they run me out of New York, run me out of Los Angeles, now they're running me out of San Diego. Basically what they're trying to do is run me out of the country before I can get medical treatment. That's just part of the game. It's a game. It's a deadly, deadly game. I'm trying to get medical treatment, and my appointments don't even begin for another 2 weeks. 3 weeks. Earliest I could get. They wanted to rush me into the VA as soon as I got here. Oh, your next day service. Well, I wasn't able to make the next day service, so I called and rescheduled the appointment. And the lady on the phone told me, "Oh no, you can't get next day. That's impossible. We'll have to book you next month. We don't have any openings. We have people on the waiting list." Well, you see, that was them trying to rush me into the VA. They're trying to set me up with the VA. They're trying to have me committed. The same thing they do to all targeted individuals so they can control them. They don't want me to flee abroad. Problem is they won't let me get medical treatment. I can't get the medical treatment that I need. So they've done all this to me because I don't know my way around La Jolla. Here's the doctor's office that I have appointments on the 13th and the 18th for my shoulders and my spine and my foot. They beat me up very badly. That's next month. That's July. And that's just when those appointments began. Well, they're creating hell on earth for me. They're just mobbing me, and they're doing it with the most erratic, irrational, aberrant, violent, just insane behavior. And it's happening 24/7. 24/7. All I want to do is get medical treatment and leave the country, but they're not going to allow it. It's obviously what this is all about. This is how they discredit the victim. This is how they portray the victim as delusional. Occam razor principle. Simplest answer is always the truth. Simplest explanation is always the best explanation. So in order to discredit a person, all one need do is engage in a sufficiently complex scheme or game of harassment. And because the more complicated the truth, the less the likelihood of belief by the ordinary person, the complexity of that harassment will generally be enough to cause most people to turn away in disbelief. It's called the Occam razor principle. It works quite well. They have it down to a science. And now I got all these security vehicles and police driving around me. Want to know what am I doing? I guess. They should call the police again. Let the same police come out here and explain to them what I'm doing. Because I had to call the police the first time to put an end to the nonsense. That just sets me up for the next attack. I've been through this before. I know how it works. So I had to call the police. They rushed out in 5 minutes. They've never done that before in history, never. Until I get on, post a video saying they don't respond to my emails, they don't respond to my phone calls. For years. They don't even respond to my 911 calls. I'm being attacked in front of witnesses with deadly weapons, with knives at trolley stops, Fitton Parkway trolley stop, and the police wouldn't even respond. And the witnesses were construction workers. They worked there. They weren't going anywhere. They were still there. The police wouldn't even send a car out, wouldn't even send an officer out. But now that I post a video, let's rush out there and help Brian too. And so they arrive in 5 minutes. That means they already know my position. It's a game. It's a game that all targeted individuals go through. They have tried to set me up and entrap me repeatedly with planting drugs on my property, honey traps, you name it. I mean, I couldn't even sit here and list all the times and all the different ways they've tried to do it. This is the police now. This is the police, government contractors involved, obviously. You know, DIA, CIA, DOD, whoever the alphabet agency is, you know, that works with the fusion centers, I don't know, but these community-based agents are running these organized stalkers at me. I used to work for the Department of Defense. I have some idea how it works. And they're just constantly running them at me. You can't be homeless and escape it. It's not possible. They just keep constantly coming at just constantly attacking you, assaulting and attacking you. You can't be homeless. So here I am, lost. Only building I recognize is where I'm supposed to be in 3 weeks to meet doctors. Trying to get to UTC. It's Brian 2. 1248, 1243. La Jolla, San Diego Medical Center, San Diego County, June 27, 2022.